Hi everyone! In this video, I will explain how to model RC columns with ProtaStructure and manage the properties of the columns. First, inserted our axes. If you don't know how to do that, please visit our channel and watch the previous video where I explained the 3 ways to start structural modeling process in ProtaStructure. Now, to model RC columns, I select the Column command in the Modeling tab and click at an axis intersection point. You can insert the columns one by simply clicking at the intersection points. You can also insert multiple columns at once by dragging a window and closing multiple intersection of axes. The columns will be inserted at every axis intersection within the window. You can make some changes in the properties of columns, both before and after the insertion utilizing the Properties window. Let's take a closer look at this Properties window now. As you can see, there are 2 tabs in this window. The first one consists of some general settings. Adjusting this label field, you can control the labels of the members. Repeating member labels is not permitted in a building. When this is about to be the case, a warning message appears and you get warned. The length story field allows you to define the number of stories that the column spans. Generally, every column spans 1 story in building type structures. If the columns span more than 1 story, the number of stories can be defined in this field. You can find more details about this process in Prota Help Center. The next fields are the column dimensions. This field is only applicable for square and rectangular concrete columns. For the circular columns, the B2 value here is 0, and the B1 value is taken as the diameter of the circular column. Next, we have the eccentricities, where E1 is the horizontal eccentricity, and E2 is the vertical eccentricity. These values can be set automatically by using the Insertion Options button in the form. For managing the anchor point, again, you can use the button and make your selection in the Column Anchor Point options. After you anchored a point on column section, when the section size is changed, the member is automatically resized with reference to the anchor point. Column orientation can be managed with the angle input. The angle is always measured horizontal, anti-clockwise. Furthermore, you can also control the orientation by adjusting the direction options. When option 1 is selected, the width of the column will be set parallel to the direction 1 insertion axis that appears in the axes fields. When the option 2 is selected, then the height of the member will be set parallel to the direction 2 insertion axis, and the width of the member will be perpendicular to this direction. Here, with this button on the other hand, you can release moments of top, bottom, or both ends to assume pinned end condition. When one of the ends of a column is hinged, the moments are released in 2 orthogonal directions. By the way, if you want to model an inclined column, then you can utilize this button. The bottom insertion point button allows you to change the location of the bottom end of the column so that you can have an inclined member. It's a simple process. You click on the button, then click the intersection of the axis that the bottom of the column will be placed, and click Update. Lastly, you can manage the section profile and the material of your column by utilizing the Section Manager. On the left-hand side, under the Database tab, there are options for different types of columns. When concrete is selected as the material, you can find various types of predefined shapes. However, for the irregular column shapes, you should utilize the Polyline Column Editor. You can manage the section properties of steel columns as well. Here you can find various sections from databases of different countries. You can utilize the built-up steel library to enter non-standard steel sections. You can also model composite sections here. You can see that the engineering properties are all automatically calculated. Let's select this section and insert our columns. Let's move on with the Geometry tab of the Column Properties window, now. The plane field states the plane number that is attached to the column. The top and bottom nodes will automatically follow that of the attached plane. Next, the del Z field allows you to control the top and bottom levels of the column. When the column is created, it automatically follows the story height. However, if you want to elongate the column upwards, then you should enter positive values in the del Z top field. And if you want to elongate it downwards, then you should enter negative values in the del Z bottom field. The Slab Patch Panel button allows you to define a patch panel to the column and manage its properties. However, I will not go into the details of it now because we have already published a separate video on it. On this window, you can also manage the support type for the bottom node of a column. By default, for all columns and walls created at the Story 1, a default fixed support is created and assigned. Lastly, if the column is discontinuous, or in other words, if it is a transfer column, then this option must be checked. Checking this option ensures the transfer column will be correctly analyzed and designed. After you adjust all the properties on this window, you should click on the Update button to apply all the changes. Want to learn how to model other types of members? Subscribe to our channel and watch the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.